Okay, so for this lesson, we're going to have a look at how we draw cubic graphs. So you're going to need to draw out the table and the graph as well. So making sure that you're using either square or graph paper wherever possible, and that you've got an equal spacing between each of the numbers. Now we're asked to draw the graph here of y equals x cubed for all the values that include -2 up to 2. So that's why those values are in our table. As with any question when you're trying to draw a graph, what I would always do is make sure that you pop a set of brackets in just around the x value. That shows you where you're going to be substituting in the values for x. Okay, so you can use a calculator, but you should also be able to do this in your head. I'm going to pop the brackets in there, and I'll show you how to do a few different ones of these so that you are clear. Okay, so if we have a look at the first one then, so x is equal to -2. If I pop -2 inside my bracket in place of x, that's -2 times -2 times -2. -2 times -2 will give me +4. +4 multiplied by -2 will give me -8. Okay, so that first one will be -8. If I then pick the next one, so -1, I'm going to go with, so that's -1 times -1 times -1. -1 times -1 is +1, multiplied by -1 will give me -1 as well. Then I've got 0 cubed, so that's 0 times 0 times 0, still 0. 1 cubed, so 1 times 1 times 1, that's going to be 1. And 2 cubed, so 2 times 2 times 2, that will give us 8. Okay, and they are the values then that we want to plot for our graph. So if we are careful and accurate in plotting, I've got -2 -8. And remember, when we plot graphs, we use a nice clear cross so that it's easy to see. -1 -1, 0 0, 1 1, and 2 8. Okay, so you can see this time for a cubic graph, it's a bit like an S-shaped graph, and it should again be a smooth curve that goes through all of the points that you have plotted. Okay, so you're drawing it as smoothly as you can, going through all of the points using a pencil so that you can rub it out where needed. Okay, and hopefully yours on paper will look a lot smoother and neater than mine. But that's how you draw the graph of y equals x cubed. We're going to have a look at a slightly harder one. So for this one, again, I'm going to pop my brackets in around any x's. So I've got a few this time. So this one's probably more than likely going to come up on a calculator paper. And then I'm going to write out what I would type in. So it'd be brackets cubed plus 2 bracket minus 3 bracket with a squared on that one. Okay, so I'm going to write that out a couple of times just so that you can see how you would fill it in. And if you literally type it as you see it now with the brackets into your calculator, you'll get the correct answers. So it's always worth double checking that you are getting the answers that I get so that you know that you are doing it correctly. And therefore, I'm going to substitute in again. This time it's for the values -3 up until 2. So if I pop -3 in to start off with, I've got -3 cubed, -3 in there, and -3 in there. And as I say, it's more than likely going to be on a calculator one, so you should be able to substitute that straight into your calculator and get 0 as your answer. So we can draw that one. We then have -2, so we can pop the -2 wherever the x was, and that one will give us 6 when we pop it in our calculator. When you put -1 in, you get 4. When you put 0 in, you get 0. When you put 1 in, you also get 0. And then if we pick a positive one and we put 2 in all the way through, that one will come out with 10. All right, and then we need to plot it. All right, so to plot it, we do as we've done with all the others. So -3 0 will be there. -2 6 will be up there. -1 4 is there, then 0 0, then we've got 1 0, and then we've got 2 10. So this looks a little bit all over the place, but it's still an S-shaped curve. So I'm going to start here so that you can see I've got a little peak there. And then that comes down to this one, down to here. Now it's not flat here, so be very careful. It's just going to go slightly lower and come back up. So make sure that you're not joining it up dot to dot with a straight line. And then this one up here will also then connect down to there. Okay, so it's still that S-shaped curve, which we could continue down so we could see what it looks like. All right, so again, a nice smooth curve, making sure it does go through every single point using a pencil on that one. And I'm just going to show you one more just so that you're really confident with one remaining question. So on this one, again, I'm going to pop brackets in around where the X's were, and I will then be doing y brackets cubed minus 8 bracket plus 1. I'm going to do that a couple of times because you should be getting a little bit more confident with it now. And then we just need to substitute in the values in the table. So we're given that they're between minus 3 and 3. So minus 3 cubed minus 8 lots of minus 3, add 1 will give me minus 2. So I can fill that one in. When I do it with minus 2, I get 9. When I pop minus 1 in, I get 8. When I put 0 in, I get 1. If I pop 1 in, I would then end up with 1 cubed minus 8 plus 1 again. That's going to give me minus 6, so I can pop that in there. If I do it with minus 2, I get minus 7. And if I do it with 3, I get 4. And then I just, again, need to plot my points using a nice cross and showing nicely and clearly. So minus 3 on the X value and minus 2 on the Y. Minus 2, 9, so we're going all the way up here. Minus 1, 8. 0, 1. 1 minus 6. 2 minus 7. And 3, 4. So we're going all the way back up here. So it's looking really quite like a really intense S shape here. So I've got the curve at the bottom there that I can join up to this bit here, and I've got a top curve here. So, and then it comes down to go through that point there and join up there. So you end up, again, hopefully yours is going to look a lot nicer and smoother than mine on paper, but it needs to just be a smooth curve going through all of those points, looking more like an S as much as possible. Okay, if you've got any questions, please make sure you ask.